Hello guys, you are highly welcome to another tutorial on Boutique Fashion channel. On this video I'm going to be taking you through the process of how to cut this safari shirt. You can see this design that this shirt that have a different design. You can as well come up with any design in which you want with this tutorial that I'm about to revealing to you. So this depends on how creative you have, but with this simplest and easiest method which I'm about to show you on how to cut this safari shirt, you'll be able to achieve any kind of a design in which you want for this shirt. So make sure you watch the video to the end without skipping any part of it. Without any further delay, let's get started. So these are the tools in which you need to cut this shirt. So the first thing you need is your tape rule. So this is the tape rule, and then the next thing is the scissors. So you need your scissors, and this is the chalk. So you also need your straight ruler, and then the next thing is the armhole curve. So this is very important for you to get a accurate armhole for your shirts. And then the next thing is the hip curve. So make use of this in the cutting of the sleeve. So these are the necessary tools you need for this tutorial. So this is the measurement we are to use. The length is a 32, the shoulder is a 18, the sleeve is a 22.5, or the short sleeve, if you want to sew short sleeve, is a 8.5. The chest is a 40, while the neck is a 15 inches. The waist is the wrist is a 9 inches, and the arm, which is the arm of the short sleeve, is a 12 inches. So that is it on the measurements. Then once you have laid the material like this, so make sure you lay the material and then you fold this one like this. So this is the savage edge, and this is how I lay this material. I've already cut out the print on the edge. I've already cut that out. So you lay this one into two like this. You can see this. So I fold it into two. So this is the back of the material, and I lay it like this. So this folding now will be 2 inches, but if you are sewing for a camp collar, you make it like a 3.5 if you want to make use of a camp collar for your design. But this one I'm making it 2 inches because the collar on this one is a normal collar or taping, so any of the two. So you make this one, the folding, to be 2 inches. So measure 1 inch here, measure 1 inch at the top here, so to make the edge to be straight. So you roll it straight down like this. So after you have done this, you measure 0.5. so this will be for the shoulder joining, so the joining on the shoulder. So measure 0.5. so from that 0.5 now you apply the length measurement, which is a 32 inches. Mark 32 inches. So you add additional 2 inches. So this now give me 32.5. So you add additional 2 inches for the hem of the shirt. So that's 2 inches for the hem. So the total will now be 34.5. So you measure 34.5 here. So that's 32.5 and 34.5. So you rule the two lines straight down like this. Rule the second line also. So on this edge you apply 1 inch. So this 1 inch is for the overlap of the shirt. So you measure 1 inch like this, and you roll the line straight down. The next thing to do now is to apply the chest measurement, which is a 40. So you divide the 40 into 4. So that gives me 10 inches. So you apply 10 inches from here. So from this 1 inch now, you measure 10 inches. And then you add the additional 2.5 inches, which will be for the seam allowance and the side seam. So that is a 2.5. So the total here now is a 13.5 inches. So you mark 13.5 inches at the top here also. So you can see this is a 2.5. So that is a total box frame for this shirt. So that is a 13.5. So come up like this and mark 13.5. At the down here you also mark 13.5, and then you roll the line straight down. So once you are done that, you can now cut out the box frame from this. So that is it. So the next thing to do now is to cut the back. So you lay the other side like this. So the total that I have here from this 1 inch that I lay for the overlapping, so you measure it from this point to the other end. So that is a 13.5, 12.5 rather, that is a 12.5. So you measure 12.5 on this. So you can see that I still have a excess here. So if you like, you can mark it out like this, but if you as well like, you can just do what, you can just adjust it and make all the excess to be on one side. So let me adjust it like this, and this is a 12.5. so measure 12.5. and sometimes the excess that remain from this side may not be enough for the back. That means you have to cut it at the bottom line, that is at the remainings of the material. So you lay it like this. Once you have laid it, then you measure 4 inches at the bottom here. So this 4 inches now will be for the back drop. So that will make the back to be longer than the front. So you just roll it like this, and then you cut it out. So that is it. So the next thing to do now is to measure the shoulder slope. So from this point you apply the shoulder measurement, which is 18 inches, and 18 divided by 2, that's giving 9 inches plus half inch for the shoulder joining, that's a 9.5. So you roll it straight down like this, that's a 9.5, and then you measure 2.5 for the shoulder slope at that point, and from this point you measure 2 inches. So from this line now you measure 2 inches. So that is for the overlap, from the overlap of the front of that of the shirt. So you mark 2 inches. So from this point now you place your ruler here, and then you slant it like this. You connect the 2 lines, roll it straight down, and then you just cut it out like this. So you can now drop down the front. You can see now that the back is longer than the front. So this edge now, just trim it. This neckline, just trim it a bit to make it a rhyme, and trim the back also. So you can now fold the back on the front. You fold the back on the front and make it overlap on the front with 0.5. So you make it overlap on the front. So you can see this place. So you just use your hand to draw it to the front like this, and make sure that it's overlap with 0.5. So you can then use office pin to hold it. Then you do what, you press that place, so that that place will give you the crease. So let me quickly do that. So this is it after I've done the ironing. So you can now remove the office pin. So you can notch this shoulder line. So that is a shoulder line now for this shirt. So you can then open it. So from this point now, the next thing to do is to apply the neck measurements. So don't forget our neck measurement is 15 inches. You measure 2 inches here. So you mark 2 inches. So from this point, that is where you mark the 2 inches. So from this point, so 2 inches. So from this point now, so make sure you drop your hand down a bit from that crease, and then you apply the length and make it a 3.5. Make it 3.5. Then you give it a cuff like this. You can as well use your armhole cuff to achieve this. So you just cut it out like this. So now drop the back on it, and then just notch wherever the front neck is. Just notch it on the back, and then you can place the armhole cuff on this to achieve the cuff here. So just cuff it like this, and that is it. So you can now trim out the neckline here. So you can as well use a cuff to achieve the neckline on the front also. So that is it for the neck. So with this, you'll be able to get the accurate neck measurements. So from this now, let me confirm. So you know you have to join the back and the front together with a 1/2 inch. So I'm leaving that. I'm measuring it up to this point. So that gave me 3.2. So from that 3.2 now, place it here, and then you measure it. So that is a half of a 15 inches, which is a 7.5. So now the next thing to do now is to apply the back measurement, which is the shoulder, and the shoulder is a 18 inches. So 18 divided by 2 now, that will be 9 inches plus a 1/2 inch, which is for the seam allowance. So you mark 9.5 here also, and then you roll it straight down. So to get the armhole length now, the armhole length can either be the chest divided by 4 minus 2.5, or you use your shoulder, which is a shoulder divided by 2 minus 1.5. So any of the two. So here now I'm making it a 7.5. So I'm making it a 7.5 to be on the safer side. So here now you can apply from this point to this point, you divide it into 2. So that is a 3.7, and on that 3.7 you come in with a 1 inch. Just roll it straight like this, and that is it. So here now let me apply the chest measurement, which is a 10 inches. That is 40 divided by 4, and then the half length now for me to get the waistline, that would be 15 inches. 15 inches. So you can roll it on that line. So that is a waistline now. Now from this waistline now, I want to apply the hip line to be 9 inches. So this depends on the length in which you are working with. So this is not constant. So this depends on the length in which you are working with. So I'm applying the 10 inches which I applied at the chest on this place also. So from this place I'm making it a 9.5, so that I will give it a little shape on the waist. So the same allowance here from this point will be 1 inch. On this side also will be 1 inch, and on the chest it will also be 1 inch, which will be for the same allowance on the side. So you connect the lines now, connect those points. So apply the same thing on this side, and the same thing on this also. So the next thing to do now is to connect the armhole line. So just place the armhole cuff like this, and then you give it a shape, and that is it. So now to have a slit at the side, so you have to give it a slit at the side. So the slit that I'm putting here, you have to fold the down part with 2 inches. So that is for the hem allowance at the bottom line. So from this point now, you mark 6 inches. So but after I finish it, the slit will be 5 inches. So the slit will be 5 inches, but I'll cut it on that 6 inches. So you mark it like this, and then you just need to, the next thing to do now is to cut out the shirt. Please, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, make sure you click on the subscribe button. And this is it after I've cut out the borders. So this is it now. You can see that the front is a little bit deeper than the back. So that is it on how to cut the armhole and the other side. So you can see this clearly. So this is the back of the armhole and this is the front now. So the next thing to do now is to cut the sleeve. So you fold the sleeve in 4 layers like this. You fold it together like this. So you have to cut the 2 sleeves together. So let me cut out this side. Now to get our sleeve width, so that is a box frame for the sleeve. It can be the shoulder divided by 2. So the shoulder is 18 and divided by 2 will give me 9 inches. And then you can also use the chest. The chest divided by 4, that is 10 inches minus 1 inch. So that will also give me 9 inches. So the box frame of this sleeve will be 9 inches. Chest, or you use the shoulder to get the sleeve width or the sleeve box frame. So measure 9 inches and then you roll it straight down like this. So that is 9 inches. So here now you apply 0.5, which will be for the joining of the sleeve with the shoulder. So you apply the 0.5 and then you apply the sleeve measurements. If you are sewing the short sleeve, you apply the short sleeve measurement, which is 8.5. But here I'm also making use of a long sleeve as well. So as I'm rolling the short sleeve, I also roll the same thing for the long sleeve as well. So from this point you measure the long sleeve, which is 22.5. So after you measure that, you minus 2 inches from that. That is for the cuff, and this will give me 21 inches. So you measure 21 inches at this side also, and then you roll it straight down. So that is it. So after you have done this, the next thing to do is to apply the cuff. The cuff for this is 9 inches. So 9 inches divided by 2, that is 4.5. And then you may add like 1.5, or you add 1.2, depend on how you want the pleating, how wide you want the pleating on the sleeve to be. So on this now on this place now, don't forget our arm is 12 inches. So that is 12 divided by 2, that will give me 6. So the sleeve cap here is 4 inches, and then you measure 2 inches from this point, then you connect the 2 points together like this. You roll it straight down. You can then take the hip cuff now, and then you place the hip cuff on it to connect this line. So that is it. You can see that it's not meet on this line, so you can use your hand to draw the line there. So that is it. So these 2 points now, you get the center, that is 4 inches, and then you place your armhole cuff to get a cuff on this sleeve. So make sure that these 2 points is equal. It's the line on that point meets, and the same thing on this line also, on these 2 points also. So that is it. So you can now cut out the shape you have there. So that is it on how to cut the sleeve. So let me cut the sleeve placket here now. So the wideness is 3.5, the length is 7.5. So now to get the opening of the sleeve placket, so you divide this place into 2, and then you mark it like this. So you drop down with 0.5 from that center. So that is the point where the placket, the sleeve placket will be. So you can make it 4 inches. make it 4 inches, and then you notch it like this, and that is it on how to cut the sleeve. So the next thing to do now is to cut the cuff. Please, if you are yet to click on the like button, make sure you click the like button so that a lot of people will be able to benefit from this video. So if you want it to be the same material at the top and the down of the cuff, you can cut it like that. But here I want to make only the main material to be the upper part of this cuff. So I will cut it in single line like this. So I won't double fold it the way I did before. So just cut it out like this, and that is it. So the length is 12.5 while the wideness is 4.5. So that is it on how to cut this shirt. So I believe you enjoyed this video and you have been able to learn and gain a lot from it. Please, if you do so, don't forget to drop a comment for me, click the subscribe button, and also turn on your notification bell. Till the next time that I'm bringing you another amazing tutorial like this again, I say thank you for watching, and then bye for now.